What's going on, guys? Josh Pocock here, and in today's video we're going to be looking at installing Agent Zero. This is a framework built on Python, and it's a personal organic AI framework. It's not a predefined agentic framework. It is designed to be dynamically, organically growing and learning as you use it. We're going to dive into it, show you how to install it, and show you some use cases of this tool. Let's dive right into it. All right, guys, so I got a comment on one of my recent videos, someone suggesting I should check out Agent Zero. I actually saw a bit about it. It's somewhat new. 10 days ago, they posted their first video. I also saw David Andreage post a video on it. It's a pretty, this one's a good video. It's short and quick if you don't have much time. It's 8 minutes as well to watch it from the founder of the tool, as well as this one's like an hour and 20 minutes. So it's a kind of going over different topics around the tool and seeing different use cases. If you only have a short amount of time after you're done watching this one, check this one out, but I'll leave both links in the description down below so you can go ahead, continue on. I've been using this, testing it out, and I think it's a pretty interesting framework. It's pretty cool. But anyways, definitely it's still like newer, so it's definitely going to be improved upon, as well as you yourself could improve upon it with the architecture, just the prompting in the system prompts and all that good stuff. But let's dive right in. So a few things you're going to need to actually use this is one, Docker. Okay, so just I'll leave a link down below. If you don't have Docker already installed, download it on your Windows or Mac, whatever the case may be. You're also going to need Python, so make sure Python is installed. Okay, and I'll also leave, of course, a link to the GitHub repo. So you're going to want to download the repo. You can either git clone it or just download the code here. Okay, once you do that, me personally, I have it open in VS Code with my Python, at least lately. With my coding, I usually use VS Code. Sometimes with my Python, I'll use PyCharm, the community edition. So could do either one, but yeah, that's more specific for Python. But right now I'm just using VS Code. So you can see here, this is pretty much, I'll quickly go over some of this. I would definitely recommend checking out this 8-minute video for sure. And I'll go over some of the stuff that he kind of mentions in as well, and kind of give you my own thoughts about how I'll be using it and my opinion on a few things. But Agent Zero is fully transparent, readable, comprehensive, customizable, and interactive. Agent Zero uses the computer as a tool to accomplish its/your tasks. Key concepts: general purpose assistant. So it's not pre-programmed for any specific task, but can be. It is meant to be a general purpose personal assistant. Give it a task and it will gather information, execute commands, encode, cooperate with other agent instances, and do its best to accomplish it. So it's called Agent Zero because you'll see when I start running the code, you'll see that the first one is called Agent Zero. But if I give it more complex tasks where it needs multi-agents, it can call upon subordinates, which would be like Agent 1, Agent 2, Agent 3. If I say, hey, go do this and use multiple agents, it will call upon those agents and spawn them. Okay, so computer as a tool. Agent Zero uses the operating system as a tool to accomplish its tasks. It has no single purpose tools pre-programmed. Instead, it can write its own code and use the terminal to create its own code as needed. So, we've seen tools that have done that are kind of similar in some sort of ways. Like we've seen a lot of different kind of tools in the AI space. Some that are somewhat similar, some that are a bit different. They were talking about Crew AI, and how Crew AI, you still got to write a bit more Python code, calling functions and all this stuff. This is kind of meant to, even if you don't know that much about coding or Python, work somewhat out of box. You can change the prompting and whatnot. But anywho, multi-agent cooperation, completely customizable and extensible. And then communication is key, so giving the proper system prompts, and it can do miracles. I'm not going to read through this whole thing, but you can kind of see the whole behavior is defined by system prompt and prompts /agent.system.md. So You go to the prompts here, we can see all the different markdowns of the prompts, like agent memory, agent system, agent tools, no code output, code runtime. So these are errors, intervention, different events or messages or whatnot, memory cleanup, knowledge response. Okay, so you can take a look. I'm not going to dive through the whole project files, but we can kind of like get a sense of kind of how it's built with certain things. Like, for example, if we go to requirements, we can see the different requirements that it's installing: LangChain Grok, Hugging Face, OpenAI, LangChain Community, Anthropic, Chroma, database, and then Google, and then sentence transformers, Docker, DuckDuckGo search, and yeah, and then essentially too, what it does when it executes code, like let's say, like I'll do some examples in just a second, but it spawns it initializes its own Docker container. So you can see here, this is why you need Docker. Right here I have agent 0 running, and it does this all, you don't have to do this like yourself, it does it once you actually need to run code. So if I just ask it like, hey, how's it going, it's not going to spawn it right away or set it up. But once you ask something that it's going to need the code executor prompt or whatever the case may be, or the tool, then it's going to start the Docker container. Okay, so how do you get everything up and running? Well, let's just scroll down here. So what you're going to do is required API key. So at the moment, the only recommended API key is for Perplexity API. So yeah, if you don't have Perplexity API or API key yet, just go to Perplexity. You can sign up. I believe if you're, I don't know if it's for free plan too, but I know if you're on the pro plan, you get about $5 of free API credits a month. So that should be pretty good. And then Perplexity is used as a convenient web search tool and has not yet been replaced by an open source alternative, even though I know if you've been following this channel, we've covered a lot of open source alternatives on this channel. But in terms of like actually using the API, you know, Perplexity makes sense. And then so yeah, if you leave it empty in the environment file, Perplexity won't be used. Chat models and embedding files can be executed locally via Ollama and Hugging Face, or via APIs as well. So basically what we're going to do is enter our API keys into the .env file, which you can find a copy of in the example.env. So I actually already changed, of course, since I've been kind of using it, I did change this. You will see example.env, and essentially what it's going to look like, just so I can show you here, example.env. You got your API key for OpenAI, our API key for Anthropic right here, for Grok, Perplexity, for Google, and yeah, so essentially what they're saying is you technically, like, the main recommended one is Perplexity, but I just put every single one just because, I mean, why not? So yeah, once you do that, you can save it, and then very simple, you just go ahead and run Python main.py. Okay, so once you do that, also too, oh, actually, sorry, no, you need to install pip install requirements. So you run this command. If you have it opened in VS Code, just letting you know, if you if you're not running it as an administrator, you may encounter an error. So you could just go to your, either reopen VS Code running it as administrator, or just do it in your terminal running it as administrator, and then just pip install requirements. Okay, it's going to take a little bit, maybe a couple minutes, just because there's a decent amount. And then once that's done, you can simply just run it using Python main.py. Okay, once you do that, it's basically going to start up agent 0. So you can see here, it's actually, I've already been doing a few things here. So let me just kind of show you what it looks like. So this is the first message I just said, hi. So you can see here, it's set it up, initializing framework, hi. And this is kind of how the structure is of it. So we have agent 0 starting a new message. Thoughts, so we see its thoughts, and its internal thoughts, like user has greeted me, I will respond to the user. And then it calls upon a tool name. It uses like a tool, the tool that's there's different tools, and let's just see where tools. So as you can see here, we got like response tool, right? You can see the Python code here. We got task done tool. We got call subordinate tools. This is what it uses to call support the subordinate and delegate tasks. Code execution. So you can see all the code here, the imports, and what it does to execute code, and it executes code within the Docker, the Linux Docker containerized environment. So that's pretty cool because, like it says in the readme here somewhere, I think it's at the bottom somewhere. So the system prompt, the agent can break his operating system, sometimes can deactivate virtual environment. So yeah, here, agent 0 can be dangerous. With proper instruction, agent 0 is capable of many things, even potentially dangerous to your computer, data, or accounts. Always run agent 0 in an isolated environment like the built-in Docker container, and be careful of what you wish for, right? So if you tell it, hey, uninstall, like if you didn't have it containerized and you're just running it on your computer, so it is running, executing code on your computer, just like many different AI tools, if you have it executing the code on your computer, it could potentially be dangerous, right? Because it could execute any type of code, right? It could like, hey, delete my operating system, or like uninstall this or that, or change the path, like whatever, data, this, that. So yeah, of course it could be dangerous. So it's cool that they have this, so it automatically runs the Docker, and it's, you don't have to worry about that. It sets it up once you get going. Okay, so yeah, we got the tools, and then text. I have more work. Okay, so let's go ahead and just show a couple examples here. So I actually just did one, and I'll just show you what my prompt was. I believe I could just go. Okay, so basically what I did is I said, I want you to write some Python code to download this video on YouTube. And then I just gave it actually a link to this video, which is, where is it? Working directory. So if you check your working directory, by the way, so just to quickly explain this, any code that's executed within the Docker file, which is in like the Docker container, which is like a Linux system, instead of you having to like, you know, go and like FTP and transfer that from one computer to your computer, if you want like certain files or like videos or whatever the case may be from what the agent 0 is executing, it actually just automatically puts it into the working directory. So yeah, it will only put like that stuff in the working directory, and then you can easily just access it on your computer. Okay, so I downloaded this video, Lex Friedman, Elon Musk, etc. So I'm going to download a different video, and just so you know, sometimes you got to correct it, because when I ran this initially, you can see like different errors and stuff, and it will try to correct itself. And essentially, like for this example, it was trying to use a different library. Like I can't find exactly which one it was. It was trying to use multiple different libraries, and basically the cool thing about this is like, if you can see it thinking and whatnot, and like doing different things. So if you want to stop it, like if you realize that it's going down the wrong path or the wrong whatever, you can stop it and say, hey, use this. So it was trying to download the YouTube video with different libraries, and I said, hey, use I stopped it by pressing any key when it's doing it. So if you press any key, it will stop. And I think I said, so I just said use YTDLP to download it, and then it worked. Okay, but instead of downloading this video, I'm going to just select a different video. Okay, we'll pick this Andy Elliott video because it's only 9 minutes. So let's go here, delete this, paste this in. Okay, so the user has provided me a video to download using Python. I will write the code. so luckily it's still using the correct library. Now, I don't know why it's getting this log encoding. Encoding error continues to block the execution of the Python script. It should allow the video to download without encountering issues. So yeah, sometimes like it's not like it did download the video here and it worked perfectly. But I guess it was getting some sort of errors. I'm not going to try to like even worry about debugging that or seeing what the issue was right now, just because it still worked. But basically just because it was, I guess, getting these errors, it was still talking to itself, trying to fix it, I believe. Continues to block the command in the terminal. This issue is likely due to the terminal's default encoding settings. I will attempt to run the YouTube DLP command using a different method to avoid encoding issues. Okay, so it's talking about encoding. Anyways, so yeah, you get kind of the point. Now let's go ahead and say, hey, generate me 10. Let's go 5 SVG images of different animals and 5 short songs telling stories about each animal. Use 5 different agents for this. Each one gets a different animal. Okay, so let's just see. User has requested blah blah blah. I will delegate this task to 5 separate subordinate agents, each responsible for 1 animal. I need to select 5 different animals for this task and provide clear instructions for each. So call subordinate. You are a writer tasked with creating a short song about a lion. This should be short, engaging and suitable for children, telling a story about the lion's adventure. Okay, so that's, and then agent 0 using tool call subordinate. So we got agent 1 here. Okay, let me just make sure it's not like spinning through. So now, okay, so let's stop it because it looks like it's this is like the one issue. Like now we're on agent 18. Let's see, so okay, so as you can see, I finally kind of got it to see. It's still going. Let's see. So, okay, so now I'm going to tell it to stop. Let's see. Okay, so this is what I got for the SVG code. It's pretty much like elephant. It just says the word elephant. Butterfly. So essentially, guys, I didn't spend like that much time creating these prompts and whatnot. I'm sure you can really fine tune it to. I'm gonna be playing around with this more because to try to get the best optimal result. As you can see, it was kind of continuously running, and I had to stop it multiple times. And you can see here, I was like, hey, why are you just continuously delegating to multiple agents? Like we're on agent 16 here, and you aren't downloading any TXTs or storing them. And then it basically smartened up and was like, okay, I need to do that. So it did save the butterfly SVGs and the butterfly TXT kind of story / song with colors bright and wings so light. The butterfly dances in the warm sunlight. So pretty good for that. In the ocean blue, the dolphin leaps and plays, singing songs of joy in the sunlit waves. Okay, so pretty good poems. The SVGs definitely could use some work. Like I could maybe say, hey, the SVGs just are colors with the word of the animal in them. I wanted SVGs that actually resemble each animal, like a picture. Please update each SVG. All right, let's see how it does. And of course, guys, this is like very basic stuff. Obviously, I would probably want. Okay, so what are we? Let's just make sure we're not just going through tokens here, which it looks like we are. Okay, what is going on? So the user. Okay, so it's doing that call subordinate token thing again. Maybe it could be. Okay, it could actually be. Okay, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna be playing around with this more. I don't know if it's based on memory from the previous terminal. Okay, guys, so essentially I just wanted to kind of give an introduction to this framework. It's a newer framework. So it's something I'm excited about to stay up to date with. I'm going to be doing videos on more frameworks as well as tutorials, maybe more on Agent Zero, as well as is there any other frameworks you want me to cover. Let me know in the comments down below. If you have used Agent Zero, let me know some of the cool stuff you got to do. If you are a fan of it, if you have some critiques of it, whatever the case may be, let me know in the comments down below, guys. But shout out to, I believe his name is Egon. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, sorry if I got your name wrong, but shout out to this gentleman who is the creator of this framework. I know it's new, so yeah, so shout out to him. He's doing a great job so far, and I'm excited to see how it continues building out. Other than that, guys, if you're new to the channel, we upload videos every single day on AI, automation, tools, marketing, business, entrepreneurship, etc. So make sure to smash that like button, smash the subscribe button to stay up to date with the daily uploads. If you got some value here, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below about all this. If you have any questions, have any issues installing it, I'll do my best to help you. And then also too, guys, if you're new to the channel, you haven't already joined our free Stride community, link for that will be in the description down below, guys. We have about 750, 800 members in our free Discord, free Facebook group. All right, so you can network with like-minded entrepreneurs, developers, and coder, AI enthusiasts, whatever the case may be, as well as myself. And other than that, guys, if you haven't already checked out my book, Client Acquisition Code, link for that will be in the description down below too, guys. Other than that, I will see you in tomorrow's video. Keep hustling, keep grinding, and of course, guys, accelerate your stride. Take care.